I loved every bit of what she said, and it was really hitting a lot of topics that we've been looking more into now, and how our product continues on to support your own internal microbiome of our gut, and yeah, the benefits that can have for us as a population. So absolutely loved everything that she was saying this morning. And then I sat in with Jake Wolki's talk as well about supply chain and direct to market, which is another area I'm looking and working more in towards as well with our own produce off our farms.
From wherever we are, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia, recognising their continuing connection to this land, its waterways, the stars in the skies since time immemorial. We pay our respects to the elders, knowledge holders, and to all the generations of First Nations peoples who have nurtured their unceded sovereign lands for over 80,000 years and continue to do so today.
G'day, I'm your host Charlie Arnott, an 8th generational Australian regenerative farmer. And in this podcast series, I'll be diving deep and exploring my guests' unique perspectives on the world so you can apply their experience and knowledge to cultivate your own transition to a more regenerative way of life.
Welcome to the Regenerative Journey with your host Charlie Arnott.
Now, Matt Hegarty, famous son of the famous Dianne Haggerty from WA. Matt, tell me, you and Ian and I have already done a session this morning. Have you had time to see anyone else? Is there anyone that's sort of stood out that you're really excited to have seen and heard?
Yeah, Felice this morning, she was the first session. I can't remember her last name off the top of my head. She was the psychologist, nutrition, talking about, you know, the human health and how our food, what we eat, is really connects to human health, mental health and things like that. And yeah, she was brilliant this morning. I loved every bit of what she said, and it was really hitting a lot of topics that we've been looking more into now, and how our product continues on to support your own internal microbiome of our gut, and yeah, the benefits that can have for us as a population. So absolutely loved everything that she was saying this morning. And then I sat in with Jake Wolki's talk as well about supply chain and direct to market, which is another area I'm looking and working more in towards as well with our own produce off our farm. So love those two talks this morning.
And tell me, what are you talking about today? You've already spoken this morning, and I think you guys have got some other sort of little sessions here and there. What sort of messages are you giving people who are here grounded here at Fat Pig Farm in Tasmania?
Yeah, so the session we just had this morning was just kind of giving a bit of an overview of what we do in WA with natural intelligence farming. We've got another session about supply chain with some of the direct to market things that we're doing at the moment. And also I'm in a talk with Stu Whitecross about like grains and I think malting and going towards beer as well. So yeah, just trying to show people I guess it's more than just practice we input on our farm. It's a whole kind of life approach and the effects that it can have. And we all like to talk about the environmental side, which is great, but then really, connecting the dots to the human health, our mental health, and just our general well-being as people. More than just trying to think of a different way of paying the bills.
And Mum and Dad recently won West Australians of the Year as a couple, which is wonderful and totally deserving. How, as their son, who I imagine they would be very proud of, do you feel a sense of pressure? Was it something you fell into? Obviously, as you were saying this morning, you went to boarding school and there was your chat about farming. Your chat about farming, what you've been doing in the holidays, was very different to the to the one with your peers there. Was it a natural sort of a thing to continue the legacy, I guess? And Mum and Dad are still very active, obviously. So yeah, how's that all feel? Big shoulders to that's resting on at the moment.
Yeah, definitely big shoes to fill. But thankfully, I'm in early enough that I can sit side by side with them for many, many years to try and learn everything off them that I can to try and continue taking things forward and bringing the message forward. It was never initially what I was planning to do, but thanks to COVID, actually, I spent a year on the farm. Like, I've always loved what Mum and Dad have done once to become more aware of what we were doing, and always wanted some part of helping it, taking it forward, but I didn't know if it was going to be me full time or not. But yeah, I did a year on the farm after COVID, and just absolutely loved every bit of it. And I was like, yeah, kind of really hit home for me, like, yeah, deep down, like, yeah, this is what I need to do. Feels right for me, and yeah, just trying everything that I can to support Mum and Dad in sharing the message, and, you know, not only to other farmers, but to our wider public who are consuming our produce about, you know, what's possible with natural intelligence farming, and, you know, the benefits it can have for also, yeah, people eating the produce.
And tell me, what's your role in the business now? You know, what sort of what's your job description?
On the daytime, and also nighttime, I'm sitting on the tractor or doing whatever's necessary to keep the farm running. And then in any spare second I'm working on the natural intelligence farming side, you know, with the social media and trying to build more direct to market, things like that. So it's a slow grind, and yeah, you try and get as much done in the 2 hours whilst you're cooking your tea at the end of a 14-hour day. But yeah, it's slowly coming on really well, and yeah, super excited for how that can evolve over the years. Yeah, not too sure how it's going to evolve, but yeah, it's ticking along slowly.
I'm sure it will evolve. And tell me one last thing, what have you heard this morning so far at the conference that you're going to take home an action, you know, research, make a phone call, whatever action that might be? Anything that stands out?
Yeah, love listening to Jake Wolki's talk this morning with the whole direct to market. He's got some really brilliant ideas of how he's gone about it, to make a really simple system. So try and take as many notes from him as possible to how we could do our own in WA. So yeah, loved what he was doing. I've listened to him a few times now, and yeah, really switched on fella. So I'll be taking a few notes from him back home.
He's a bit of a force, isn't he? He's doing well. Matthew, thanks so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of it. We've got a day and a half left, and it is awesome.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Charlie.